Hello, welcome to a new video. In today's video, we're gonna take a look at a team with Annihilape, not with the one that you might expect. We don't have Rage Fist yet because the community day is gonna start in 2 hours for me when I'm recording this one, around 1.5 hours or like 1 hour when you are seeing this one. But today, we want to see a lot of gameplay towards Annihilape and Primeape on YouTube. Also for me, can't wait to try them out later on when the community day actually happened for me. I'm gonna make definitely a lot of good content towards this one, so definitely feel free to leave a like, subscribe, would really appreciate it. But today, we're gonna try to do exactly the opposite. What we're gonna try today here is we're gonna try to make a team here that is going to be able to counter Annihilape and Primeape. And I did play this team before Annihilape and Primeape got the new move Rage Fist, and most likely gonna be top tier meta. And I still went 9-1 in my first 2 sets. This team was absolutely amazing. And like, look at the Pokemon, like we're running Annihilape without the new move, and it's still really, really strong. So if you're gonna get Rage Fist today, use the Annihilape with Rage Fist and Ice Punch, and it's going to be an amazing team to run. This team got me up to 3100 MMR, like literally top tier ELO range, really, really high ELO range. And it was such a fun team to run. Like, it was literally such a fun team to run. I would really recommend you to give it a try. The thing is about this team, it is difficult to play against Azumarill. Azumarill is going to be a little bit of a trickier Pokemon to deal with, which is going to be a bit better as soon as you're going to have Rage Fist, because Rage Fist is going to make the matchup actually quite decent for Annihilape. If you would have Primeape actually can win the 2-shield scenario with Rage Fist against Azumarill, which is ridiculous. But as we will see here today, we're going to see the Talonflame was just overpowered. Like, Talonflame was the best Pokemon of this team. Talonflame is literally so strong. Brave Bird was a fun one on Talonflame, but I feel like with the new meta coming up with Primeape and Annihilape, 2 very squishy Pokemon, especially the Primeape, it might be even better to go for Flame Charge on this Pokemon, allowing you to do more damage with Incinerate. So if you want to run this team later on, use Rage Fist on Annihilape as soon as it's going to be available for you, and use maybe Flame Charge on the Talonflame instead of Brave Bird. The cool thing about our Talonflame and why I like my Talonflame quite a bit is I had Weather Boost the entire cday for this Pokemon. What this means is I have 4 attack as a minimum stat for mine. What this means as well is I'm going to be able to win every single CMP tie. Issue is when the opponent plays it a little bit better than I do, I overfarm by here a little bit too much, I guess. The opponent goes for a charge move, well played by them. I can still go for another fast move afterwards. I'm at 100 energy needed. I think I'm 95 energy currently. And I'm going to be able to go ahead and go for another fly, knock them out. In comes the Greedent of the opponent. We can still go for a Brave Bird and look at our Talonflame completely wrecking the opponent, doing a ton of damage. You can swap out into our fighter. In comes the Chestnut, and this is like the beautiful thing about having Ice Punch on this Pokemon. Ice Punch on the Annihilape was really, really good for me. I have to say, Ice Punch definitely was a good move to go for this Pokemon as we use this as our Say Swap. The main reason why we use Annihilape as our Say Swap is because I kind of want to bait out potentially something like a Galarian Moltres, something like what's called Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz, for example, would be something that completely shuts down our Pokemon in the back. Our Malamar. Malamar was also such a strong Pokemon in the current meta. And the main reason why, of course, we run this team here is because all 3 Pokemon have great play against Primeape as well as Annihilape. So we have our flying type Pokemon in the lead, which is going to be able to resist at least like counter, Karate Chop, Cross Chop in close combat, which is like the fighting type variants there for those Pokemon, which is really important. And then we're going to have the Annihilape, which of course, seemingly a little bit weird in a team that is supposed to counter this Pokemon and its kind of friend, but still going to be an okay one because it, again, can kind of counter the fighting type moves. And then in the back, we're going to have Psywave spam with our Malamar in the back, and Psywave basically completely shuts down both of the fighting type boys there in the 2-shield scenario, which is really important. Here's one thing, there's basically no answer to Annihilape and the Primeape, which is also the main reason why they're going to be so strong, unless you're going to counter them offensively. And that's exactly what we're going to try to do here with this team. We're going to have counter, very hard-hitting offensive move. We're going to have Psywave, especially as super effective. It's going to do a lot of damage against Primeape, literally going to farm them down. And then we're going to have Incinerate, and as I said before, if I would have had more charge TMs, I would just use the Flame Charge as well. I kind of wanted to keep some charge TMs. I kind of look at how many I actually have now for the community day today, but this would be something that's also kind of important for it, just to get like a little bit more fast move pressure in, because I feel like fast move pressure is going to be the way to deal with the new meta coming up. I have 8 charge TMs for the cday, hopefully it's going to be enough. But anyway, next opponent is going to have a little bit of a fun time here. Honestly, Porygon 2, I really wish this Pokemon would be better. I really like this Pokemon, and they actually have a Sneasel in the bag. This is, like, again, meta at 3100 MMR. Like, it's not like a battle against someone completely down there. It's kind of hilarious to see this Pokemon. And also here, by the way, I'm using the shield was actually a little bit of a mistake. I didn't really pay attention to the battle. But to be fair, maybe I should have used another shield here. Looking at it, the opponent decides to go for another aerial ace here, and I was like, oh, I can easily survive it. I cannot. The opponent is going to be able to knock us out, but we are still going to have our Talonflame here, which is going to be fine. In comes the opponent's Whiscash, which at least going to show us what they have in the bag. Now I can go for a Brave Bird, either get the knockout or get the final shield. Now I should be able to pressure them quite a bit with the Malamar. I'm not too worried about this matchup, to be fair. Like, again, of course, the opponent runs some Spice, very appreciated, by the way, to see a little bit of Spice there. They're going to get the attack drop as well, which is kind of nice for them, but what we can do is we can use Superpower, we're gonna get them low, they're forced to go still for another charge move here, I can get some Incinerates in, and I should be able to reach that Brave Bird against the opponent's Whiscash, which then going to most likely go down. This is going to be another Tri-Attack here. Tri-Attack is going to get the lucky chance of dropping my defense and the attack, it's a 50% chance. To be fair, I really wish that Tri-Attack would be even a little bit better, maybe give it a little bit more damage output. I just want Porygon to be good, but this is going to be a good game. Very appreciate the Spicy as well, very, very cool to see. So, what do you do with this team against Toxapex? You're gonna stay in for a little bit here with the Talonflame. The thing is, Toxapex, I think, gets to their first charge move after 8 of their own fast moves, allowing us to outspeed them to a Brave Bird and doing a ton of damage to them immediately. And then we can swap out into our Primeape, or like Annihilape here. Annihilape is going to be able to resist the Sludge Wave, the Poison Jab, and this is looking way, way better for us. We have Ice Punch for the opponent, Marowak coming in, and so we're gonna be in a very, very solid spot here. Getting the shield from the opponent, in comes the charge move from the opponent, but again, we're going to have Talonflame, and Talonflame is honestly key for this team to work, and I do think that Talonflame is going to be able to do a little bit more. The reason is why Primeape and Annihilape are going to be so strong now with the new move Rage Fist. There is not a single type combination in the game currently that is going to be able to resist both of the moves. There's nothing that can resist both the Ghost typing as well as the Fighting typing. Not a single Pokemon. There is one in like Pokemon generally speaking, which is Hisuian Zoroark, which is going to be able to resist both of those because it's a normal and ghost type, but this is the only type combination that is going to be able to do that, because if you think about it, okay, ghost is going to be resisted by dark typing, fighting super effective against. Ghost is going to be resisted by normal typing, fighting is super effective against. There is nothing that we can really use there, and then again for fighting, resisted by poison, neutral for the ghost typing, and there's like never really anything that works out to resist both the ghost as well as the fighting type damage. And here we're going to see my nemesis. It's going to be a Azumarill, and as we said before as well, I think it was a 9-1 run for this team in the beginning for me. This Pokemon here, Azumarill, is going to be one that is going to be way, way better when we have Rage Fist. Like, Rage Fist is going to make this matchup so much better for me, like, for sure, as it's going to do neutral damage, it's going to allow us to get a lot of damage in general, like getting like more counter damage in then afterwards, and I think you might even be able to align yourself in the 2 shields. I'm not too sure about it. I actually kind of want to look it up, because even then the matchups are different for the Shadow variant of Annihilape, which you can use for this team as well, making even a better effort in terms of getting fast move damage in. I think it would actually make a lot of sense as well. But as we'll see here, the opponent has the Azumarill. Still, it's going to be a very tough matchup for us, because we are getting kind of walled by this Pokemon. Not gonna lie, like, this is definitely the most difficult one to deal with, and they have a Toxapex in the back. But I'm fairly certain with like Rage Fist and Annihilape, the Azumarill matchup is going to be not as bad as it seems. As I'm going to take a look at this one here right now. It's still going to lose it, don't get me wrong, it's still going to lose the matchup with Rage Fist, but it's going to be a way closer one, as you're going to do some stab damage, it's not resisted damage. And again, if you're actually the Primeape though, you're going to be in such a great spot, because Primeape actually going to be able to win the matchup against Azumarill, which doesn't make any sense at all in my opinion. But just because you are so spammy and you get so many boosts with it, Rage Fist is going to allow you to win the 2-shield scenario against Azumarill here. We're not going to win this battle, which is okay, but this is going to be basically the only loss that we had with this team for the first sets, which is really, really cool. And yeah, we can move on to the next opponent. Take a look now at Quagsire. Quagsire is going to be a Pokemon that is going to have a great time against my lead, but we're going to swap out now, getting out the opponent's Clodsire. I think this matchup also going to be something that you can win if you're going to have the new move Rage Fist, because Rage Fist is going to allow you to get to those hit a little bit, like do a little bit more damage than with the Ice Punch later on. So like I would go for a Rage Fist first and then let the opponent go for a charge move and then go for the Ice Punch afterwards, because I feel like it's gonna put them then into a range where you're going to be able to farm down, because counter does more damage, Rage Fist is going to be also a stab move, so it's going to do some sort of damage as well, and it's just going to be, like, honestly, I cannot see them not changing Rage Fist in the future. I'm very certain they're going to nerf it a little bit. Primeape is going to be the number 2 spot now between 2 Clodsires for the Open Great League, which is kind of mad. For the Ultra League, it is going to be the number 3 spot. Then this Pokemon is going to be absolutely mad. Like, it's going to be nearly impossible to deal with this Pokemon. The pressure it has. Can't wait to showcase it later on my channel as well. As we'll see here, we're going to be able to go for another charge move. The opponent is going to have to take here the Fly. We can swap out of it. We still have a shield left. We can take a hit here with our Malamar as well. That's all not really a big issue as well. So I'm not really too worried about the scenario here in general. We're going to see the Duron coming in. We can go for a double superpower to knock out the opponent here. And it's looking really, really good for us. As we will try our best here. Superpower coming through. We can go for another superpower afterwards. Let's see on how this is going to go for us. It's going to be definitely nice. We're gonna knock them out. They're forced to go for a charge move against me, but I can still go for the superpower, and I'm fairly certain at this point this should be enough to knock them out. Well, let's see, it is, and we can move on to the next opponent. Talonflame Mirror matchup. Again, we have a great opportunity here to showcase our AVs for the Talonflame. We're going to be able to always run CMP ties, so if it goes down to the 2-shield scenario, we're always going to be able to go up and win this one. So as you're going to see, we're going to be able to go for a charge move. It is just safe to go for Fly. Like, there's no real reason to not go for Fly, because as you're going to see here, we win the CMP tie, and here afterwards, we're going to be able to fully farm them down. So there's no real worries about anything here. We're going to use a shield. We're going to try our best to fully farm them. It's going to be a Brave Bird, and now we need just one more fast move, get some energy in, and in comes a Quagsire. I can go for a Fly straight away afterwards and maybe get the shield back as well, which then leaves me with a Talonflame and all my Pokemon still left. I can align my Annihilape. Annihilape is going to have a solid time here. It's not a perfect time, don't get me wrong, but even again, if you think about it, Rage Fist would be great here. Rage Fist is the same energy as Night Slash, gonna give you a guaranteed boost, gonna do more damage than Night Slash as well, and just going to make the matchup way, way easier. In comes Superior. Oh, look at this, we're going to have Ice Punch. Again, imagine we had now a +1 boost. We would have been able to actually knock out the opponent's Superior at this point, showcasing again how important it is to have Rage Fist later on for this team as well, but how strong this team already is without Rage Fist. And as we can see as well, the opponent is going to try their best. It does not work out whatsoever, and we're going to be able to just go ahead and take the hit. And yeah, we'll see here the Pangoro coming in next. Next one, we're going to see the Dewgong. Dewgong is going to be an interesting one for sure. This is going to be a very solid matchup for us. We're going to see the Ice Wind coming through. We're going to try our best here. We're going to go ahead and go for the Night Slash. This is going to allow us to get the Night Slash in. We're going to have the shield coming up for us as well here. This is going to be interesting. Ice Wind coming through. And we can try our best to go for another Night Slash afterwards to try to get the knockout. Let's see what the opponent gonna do here. Do they use another shield? They decide to let the move go through again, and we're gonna have the attack boost. So all the nerfs there basically got negated as well for us. We're gonna be able to go for another Ice Punch here against the opponent, and this is looking really, really solid for us, as the opponent is now going to have their Clodsire aligned against our Annihilape. We are gonna still be able to go for another Ice Punch here, doing some solid damage. And again, like with Rage Fist, it would have been even better. But yeah, we're gonna see this swap out now from the opponent to the Pangoro. I can go for the Fly here, and even if they're gonna knock me out there, I'm still gonna be able to go for a superpower later on. I'm gonna be in such a great spot here. I can go for the Fly. If they want to use a shield, I use a shield. There's nothing really that's going to be happening, and as we will see here, the opponent is going to, be able to go ahead and go for another Night Slash. I can go for a Fly, I can knock them out, and this is going to be great. As we will see here as well, the opponent gonna get knocked out, and this game is over. Like, what is the Clodsire going to do here? They can maybe knock me out still here, but as we will see, the opponent is going to have the Sludge Bomb coming through. We can go for the full farm down here, and they cannot knock me out. Unless they have Mega Horn, then they will be able to win this battle. They don't, and we can move on to the end of the video. This is going to be it for the video. Enjoy all your community day. I'm going to be out grinding, and I'm going to do a ton of content on this channel for the next 3 days, so stay tuned for this one, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.